What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Blitz Angle. My name is Blitz Link. I am here with Dan Loya. We're going to get you guys excited for a Thursday night football matchup that is a spread of 12 and a half right now with the Patriots taking off against the New York Jets, who traded away two of their defensive cornerstones. Dan, why should we be excited about a game with such a big spread?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Ryan. Well, both teams surprisingly are on a winning streak. Okay, Patriots come in on a 7-game win streak. They proved last week that they were among the very best in the AFC. On the other hand, the Jets, the last two games they've won them both. So surprisingly, both teams are on a win streak. It's a divisional matchup, and this is the Jets, like, it's a big game. It's a primetime game. There's gonna be a lot of eyeballs on this game, and the Jets play really hard. I know their offense is they can't score points, but that defense shows up, and they play really hard for their coach, Aaron Glenn. So, we're gonna watch it and analyze it right now, and I'm excited to get into it.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting one for sure. As the Patriots look to maintain pace as the AFC's number one seed and really can't afford to, lose any ground. I know they technically have a two-game bump over the Buffalo Bills in the division with the tiebreaker and a one-game lead, but can't really afford to lose any ground. It's not like this has been Buffalo has been really inconsistent over the last 5 years. This is a team that's won the division every year during that stretch. So New England does not have a ton of room for error. Obviously, they put themselves in a great spot and have a great schedule ahead. They need to go through and take care of business. And they've done a great job of that this year, not necessarily playing down to the teams they're playing against and taking care of business against bad football teams. Dan, let's talk about Drake May. May's an MVP candidate right now. The deep ball has looked really good. Josh McDaniels is skied up better than probably he has been for a couple seasons now. What do you like about this New England offense against a depleted Jets defense?
Yeah, well, I think they execute it really well. We all know Josh McDaniels is one of the very best play callers in the NFL. He knows how to scheme it up, and they make you defend every blade of grass out there. So you just never know. And look at last week, two rookies stepped up and scored three touchdowns. Trevion Henderson, running back, he scored twice, and Williams got his first touchdown of the year last week as well. So you just with this team, they got speed, that they can burn you deep, and then they got a guy, a veteran wide receiver underneath, and Stephon Diggs and Matt Collins that can beat you underneath with routes. So overall, Drake May has been incredible. I think the thing he doesn't get a lot of praise for is his mobility in the pocket and his ability to escape a lot of sacks. He's fearless. He'll stand in there. He's not afraid to get hit. And even that big touchdown to Kyle Williams last week, he had a guy bearing down on him, and he didn't care. He took the hit and threw a perfect ball to him. So I think he's been incredible this season. He's definitely up there for MVP consideration, and it's a big game. A lot of eyes going to be watching this, so he's got to perform against this New York Jets team.
Yeah, I think Drake May's been spectacular this year, and I expected this
Yeah,
Patriots team to take a step forward in the offseason. I thought May was going to take a step forward, right? They've exceeded expectations. So what they're doing right now on the offensive side of the ball is really just very impressive. And, the one lump with this defense or offense, sorry, is that they, allow a decent amount of sacks and they allow a few plays that, change drives. I'm not really worried about the Jets pass rush having that impact against this New England offense. And I think this is an opportunity, depending on how Ramondre Stevenson's status is heading into the game. We're recording this on Wednesday at 2 o'clock, and they still haven't announced the injury report for the game. But if Stevenson doesn't go again, it's going to be a lot of Travion Henderson, who had his first breakout game of his NFL career. If he can stack back to back breakout games, and this is a favorable matchup against the 31st ranked DVOA rush defense, Travion Henderson could find himself in a starting role when Ramondre Stevenson comes back, and that would be great for us Travion Henderson owners in fantasy
mm,
football and a lot of people that
all
want to
time.
see him be a little bit more explosive in the running game for New England. So this is a big time matchup for him to potentially capitalize on. And then I take a look at that Patriots pass catchers group. Stephon Diggs is a big name in there, but he's not really the same Stephon Diggs anymore. They have a good
No,
collection of okay receivers. Kayshawn Booth, he might miss this one, but he's a good player, right? Mac Hollins had a really good week last week. Demario Douglas has had some good weeks mixed in there as well. They have a good collection of pass catchers that Josh McDaniels has done a great job of scheming open. It almost feels like, Dan, two times a game, there's a wide open deep throw for Drake May, and he's almost hitting every single one of them this year with how good he's been delivering the football on deep throws. So the combination of improved play calling, Drake May playing at a really high level, and a potential emergence in the ground game in a favorable matchup, there's a lot of positives, right, for this New England Patriots offense. And I think the only way the Jets have a chance of slowing down this team is if they are able to rush the passer. And I'm not necessarily sure
That's
that the Jets have that personnel to be able to consistently rush New England. Let's flip to the other side of the ball, right? The Jets offense, they got a big time win last week against the Browns, really tough matchup. But another game with Justin Fields under 100 passing yards. Fields is likely to be the starter going against a tough New England defense that has gave a lot of team fits this year. What are you looking at on that side of the ball?
yeah. So as of right now, head coach Aaron Glenn has not officially announced the starter, but we can only assume that it's going to be Justin Fields. But since it is a short week, but we don't know. But going back to Justin Fields, last week against the Browns, he did not complete a pass, 10 plus air yards down the field, which is
All right now.
incredible. He finished his final total in passing yards of 59 yards. Okay, uh, most of those yards came on a screen pass to Brees Hall which took it to the house for a score. So besides that, it's incredible what the Jets they just do not have a passing game with Justin Fields, and it doesn't get any better when your best pass catcher Garrett Wilson is going to be out against this tough secondary of New England. So it's going to be uphill battle for the Jets offense. They kind of average, I think, like around 13 points a game. That seems like, and last week they put up 27, but two of those touchdowns came from special teams.
Yeah.
So to pull up an upset like they will have to on Thursday night, you got to rely on your special teams, punt returns, kickoff returns. Maybe they strike gold again with that. But besides that, it's gonna be tough for this offense to run the ball against the New England defense, among the very best in the NFL. Brees Hall, he's 10th in rushing. He's 6th in rush yards over expected. He's only scored 3 total touchdowns, but he goes up against the New England run defense that's the very best in the league. They're only allowing 78 rush yards per game, also tied 4th with 3.8 yards per play running the ball. So this is gonna be hard for the Jets to move the ball, on a Thursday night. It's gonna be cold. It's gonna be 38 degrees, cold up there in Foxborough. So I think this is gonna be a low scoring game for both teams.
Yeah, it'll be interesting for sure. I think, New England's run defense plays perfectly into what the Jets want to do on the
Yeah.
offensive side of the ball. They want to establish the run, they want to play ahead of the sticks. They don't want to rely on their quarterbacks to have to make plays. And the Patriots have been one of the best run defenses in the NFL this year, allowing, I think it's under 60 yards uh, or less to every single running back they've faced this year. So it's a tough matchup for Brees Hall entering this week. And without, the passing game viability, I'm a little bit worried about Brees Hall not being able to cash in on his production this week in a tough matchup like that. And then Justin Fields, man, like the thing with Justin that's just that nobody, wants to admit, and people are starting to see it now, and it's been the same thing throughout his entire career. He just doesn't process the field very well. He holds on the ball a super long time, and he's very indecisive when he's processing the field, and it's caused him to, have a lot of sacks in his career. Right? Sometimes his numbers look okay, and other times he has days where he only has 11 passing attempts and he only has 60 passing yards, and it's because of his ability to process the field that makes it really hard for this Jets team that is without their top weapon, right, to move the ball potentially down the field. And we've seen it, three of Justin Fields' last four games is that he's been under that 100-yard mark. As a starting quarterback in the NFL, that feels like the bare minimum is to get to that 100-yard mark a few times in a four-game stretch at least and be able to move the ball for your team. The Jets are so one-dimensional on the offensive side of the ball, and it just happens to be the Patriots' strength. It is a brutal matchup for the New York Jets entering this one. And without their top wide receiver and Garrett Wilson being able to provide some sort of, threat in the passing game, it's a it's a nightmare matchup. And this is just New England being able to tee off on another weak opponent towards the end of this season. Dan, it's prediction time, right? We know it's a
Yeah.
massive spread. I think we were both taking the New England Patriots, but the real question is, are they going to cover the 12.5 spread, and what type of player props do you like looking at in this one?
Okay, yeah. So, coming into this game, Patriots offense have scored 24 plus points in 5 straight games. On the other hand, the Jets defense have allowed under 21 three of the last four. Uh, it's a divisional game. Like I said, I think the Patriots will get the Jets' best shot. So I'm kind of back and forth with the score, but I ended up with I'm gonna go 24-10, 24-10 Patriots. Um, I think the Patriots would keep it rolling, especially against a team like this. You can't lose. You got to keep your foot on the gas. Just prove to everybody why you're the number 1 seed in the AFC. Some prop bets. I like Stephon Diggs. He scored a touchdown 3 games in a row. I think he'll add on to that. So I'm gonna have him anytime touchdown Thursday night. Also, I think I like Will McDonald because I
Mm,
think the Jets defense. They didn't get rid of 2 players that people wanted, 2 pass rushers, Will McDonald and Jermaine Johnson. So I think Will McDonald will record a sack Thursday. He had 4 last week against the Browns, so I think he'll record at least 1 Thursday night.
nice. I like it. I like it. A little sack player prop. I like that. I think with the Patriots, I think they're going to cover. I'm in the same boat as you. I have a little bit more gaudy of a score. I think it is going to be a 31-13 victory for the New England Patriots. I
Right.
think Justin Fields might get benched mid-game in this one based on their
Hmm,
performance, and Tyrod Taylor maybe has a garbage time touchdown mixed in there. I think Mason Taylor, if you're looking at a Jets prop in the passing game, it'll be low enough to where you could potentially take it. The Patriots are one of the worst teams in the NFL at defending tight ends this year. As far as player props I like on New England side, like I said, I'm going to ride the hot hand. Travion Henderson over totals. If Ramondre Stevenson is out, I like the over total on his rushing attempts. I also like the over total on his rushing yards. As far as Drake May goes, 2+ touchdowns feels like a bare minimum for this guy this season. So I like parlaying all three of those together, and that gives you some nice odds to be able to go in and make some money in Thursday night. Well, guys, drop your prediction for Thursday night football down in the comment section below. I don't want to see I'm picking the Pats. We all know you're picking the Pats, but why are you picking the Pats and are they covering the spread? Is what we really want to know. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for more Blitz Sports Media content. And me and Dan will catch you guys next time.